Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to do an example similar to one that you're going to see in your homework for My Open Math. So this is often one that people struggle with, so I want to give an example that looks similar to the one that you're going to have for homework. So in this one we are subtracting these two expressions. So the first thing I notice when I'm looking at this is that this second denominator right here can be factored. Okay, so that can be factored into x plus 3 times x plus 5. Now I do see that in the numerator up on the top here, I could factor out a 2 there, but I don't really need to. The denominators have to be factored so we can pick out the lowest common denominator, but the numerators won't need to be until possibly the very end. So since I have my denominators factored, I can pick out my lowest common denominator. So to do this, I start with my first denominator and I say, well, my first denominator has an x plus 5, so my lowest common denominator needs an x plus 5. And then I go to my next one and say, okay, what is in this denominator that's not already on my LCD list? So I already have the x plus 5, but I don't have the x plus 3. So I'm going to add that to my LCD. And here we go. So now we've got our lowest common denominator that we're going to rewrite these fractions with. So now I'm just going to set this up and I'm going to put my new denominator into both fractions, my new LCD. So let me change colors here to show from my first fraction, when I changed denominators, the x plus 5 was already there. So the x plus 3 is the new part. So that needs to come up top as well. And I'm going to bring down the x plus 4 that was already there, right? So whatever I did to my denominator, I have to go back and do it to the numerator so I don't change fractions. They're still equivalent fractions. So now if you look at your old denominator, I'm just putting a little bullet there, to your new denominator, right? Nothing changed, which means nothing has to change in the numerator. Okay, so we're slowly getting there and getting our, we've got them rewritten with our lowest common denominator. So now our job is going to be to simplify. So I do have to FOIL out this right here, and I do have to distribute this negative. So let's see if we can do kind of most of that all in the next step. So I'm going to FOIL the first numerator, and I'm going to get x squared. Just for sake of space on this, I'm going to combine my inner and outer all in one step, because I would get a 3x and a 4x, which gives me a 7x, and then plus 12. And then I'm going to distribute this negative to minus 6x minus 32, all over my lowest common denominator. So this lowest common denominator now is just going to keep coming along for the ride until we get done and we see what else we can do. Okay, so let's now keep simplifying. So on the denominator, I'll just keep my LCD. And on the numerator, let's combine like terms. So x squared, there's nothing that can combine with that. I can combine the positive 7x and a minus 6x to a plus x. And then I can combine the plus 12 and the minus 32 to a minus 20. So at this point, I was successful in getting this written as one fraction. That's what we were trying to do. Now it's just a matter of taking a look and seeing if we are able to possibly cancel out any like factors. And I won't know that until I factor this numerator. So that's what I'm going to do. Now this step doesn't always work. Sometimes it doesn't factor. Sometimes it doesn't factor into anything that cancels, but we have to check it. So if I factor that, I think we'll find what works is, let's see, x and x. I need two things that multiply to negative 20 that combine to a 1. So that should be a positive 5 and a minus 4. And look at that. Lo and behold, something does cancel. Right? Those x plus 5, we have a common x plus 5, so they're canceling to a 1. And this is what I have left. So that is in lowest form that simplified expression. So hopefully that helps with your My Open Math homework this week. And let me know if you have any questions.